on the Texas A&M Sports Network. From Learfield, live from Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue on Harvey Road in College Station. Welcome to the Joni Taylor Coaches Show, presented by Bud Light. It's for the fans. And by Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue. Visit Rudy's.com to find real Texas barbecue near you. Now, the Joni Taylor Coaches Show.
And hi again, everybody. Welcome out to Rudy's Barbecue. We're here on Harvey Road in College Station. Hope you come on by and join us. We're going to be talking women's basketball for the next hour. We're here from 6 until 7 o'clock on most Tuesdays throughout the season. And with the coach, Joni Taylor, I'm Steve Miller. Great to have you with us tonight. The Aggies getting set this Thursday to take on Auburn. That's a 7 o'clock start at Auburn. You can listen here on the A&M Sports Network. Locally, Zone 1150. It'll also be on the SEC Network Plus. And then on Monday, that's right, Monday, the Aggies host Missouri. So the next home game is a Monday. That's a 6 o'clock next Monday, and that'll be on the SEC Network and the Texas A&M Sports Network locally. That'll be Zone 1150. And just a heads up for our 12th Man Rewards, folks, that is a double point event. So you check into your account, you get 400 points, and come early to check out the pregame fan zone loaded with games and food. So for game info and to buy tickets in advance, check out 12th Man mobile app. Visit gameday.12thman.com. All right, Joni, how's the traffic out there?
That was a mouthful.
It's crazy, isn't it?
The traffic was crazy today.
Yeah.
We got spoiled, when school wasn't back in session. I could stay in practice till 5:45 and then shoot over here. And I looked up today, and it was 5:30, and I just said, I got to go, and I ran out.
It was crazy when I left a few minutes before that. It was just one of those days here in College Station. I don't know, maybe the weather's great and everybody kind of got out. Mm-hmm. Or maybe they're getting their last Valentine's gift, so happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day. And,
swimming. SEC swimming is going on tonight.
Going on as always. So but happy Valentine's Day, everybody.
Yeah. Come on out and bring the one you love or yourself, if that's who you love, out to Rudy's tonight for Valentine's dinner. Why not? And what do you have for Valentine's? You have big plans for today?
Well, we did it this morning. It's really about the girls at this point. Darius and I exchanged cards, and he gave me some roses.
Oh,
and so we don't
nice.
do a ton for Valentine's Day. It's always in season. This is a big birthday month for us.
Oh, okay.
My mom's birthday is tomorrow. Chelsea Newton's birthday is on Friday. And then my mother-in-law, Miss Taylor, and then Drew's birthday is Sunday the 19th. So we kind of just, we'll get together this weekend and celebrate everything at one time.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so that sounds pretty exciting, and we get to kind of an odd schedule here with the Thursday game and the Monday game, so we'll talk about that as we go along. We'll look back here at the one game that we played last week, Mississippi State. Go in there, and I think it was another pink game. I think we tend to have fallen the way the schedule is. I think we're everybody's pink game. I'm not sure
the
if that's...
game Thursday is a pink game.
And 2 days from now is a pink game.
I don't have that much pink.
Well, you have to reuse something. I don't know.
Oh, my goodness.
That's a hard one. It's you wake up and everybody's got the pink down. Again, another rough start.
Yeah,
I mean, gosh, you look up and it's 10-0. What
calling a timeout?
After calling a timeout, what's going through your mind at this point when you see that up there?
Upset.
Yeah.
I haven't said that a lot this year about this team because we have done a lot of great things. They've played hard. They've made tremendous strides. As we have grown, there now becomes an expectation. And so for us to come out and start the game the way we did, I was not pleased at all. We didn't look focused. We didn't look like we had practiced anything in terms of what we wanted to do offensively and defensively. And we'd had 2 really good days of practice, which is why I was even more, bothered by how we started. And, it's the same conversation of we just cannot dig ourselves that big of a hole, right? And even though we close the gap, it's a 3-point game at halftime. We make it a 2-point game in the third quarter, and then again in the fourth quarter, it's a 2-point game. Trying to come back from 10 down, that's draining. That takes a lot out of you. So, again, as we continue to grow, there also has to become an expectation for what that looks like and a responsibility to start. If you're starting, then part of your job is to start us off the right way. And we didn't do that, and we didn't do that against Vanderbilt. And so it's a trend that I'm not happy about.
If I recall, you said that started in the locker room.
It did. So we are not a team that's mature enough to drift off course, meaning have just conversation about anything that's not right in front of us, meaning the game. And so at one of the times we come in the locker room before the game starts, they're chattering about other games being played in the league. So they're talking basketball, but it's not about us. They're talking about, at one point I think I heard somebody talk about the LSU South Carolina game and who else is playing. And I said, why are we even concerned about that? The only thing that's in front of us right now is Mississippi State. And so it's just, again, them learning that even if one or two of them have the ability to, check out and then lock back in, that's not who we are as a team. So you don't get to do that. Our conversation has to be strictly about what's in front of us.
And ultimately answered the call there. So now you spend the rest of the quarter battling back, and it's 14-11 with about a minute to go. And
we give up 6 points, and
right.
one, and a layup, and a three.
Right.
Yeah.
Frustrating.
Oh, and so you come back and you crawl in it, you're down 3, and then at the end of the first quarter, the score is 20-11. Right? We give up an and one on a drive. We come down, we turn it over, I believe, and then we come down and we give up a 3. And so again, it's just, I told him today was the first day that we saw each other after the game. We don't talk much after the game on the road or at home. I like to digest it, go back and watch the film and make sure, what I felt out there is correct from what my eyes see. And I just told them they tried to give us the game. Like, they gave us so many opportunities to take it, and we just kept saying, no, you take it. No, you take it. And so again, we sat down today and we showed them a lot of that, and just, at this point, you have to have an answer, and there's some ownership for why. Right? We just can't be, we're learning and we're growing and this is where we are at this point in the season with how we have moved forward. And then as we just carry over into next year, you guys have to answer for this.
February's not for learning.
Right. Not at all. Not at all.
So as we get in the second quarter, tide started changing. It seemed like the whole game changed because now the Aggies are scoring in the paint. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What a change that was. How did that happen?
Paint points is something we talked about. Offensive rebounding is something we've talked about. We still aren't doing that the way I would like to. And I think as we have gotten more players back, we have slowly started to run a little bit more. And what we try to tell them is we need to score before the other team can get their defense up. Mm-hmm. That gives us the best chance. Janiyah, when you catch it, you're going to have a crowd. You've done your job at that point. Pass it back out. Patty, the game plan is going to be to take away you guys in the paint. So if we can get down the floor and pass it to you guys before the defense gets set, it's going to give us the best chance. And so we've been able to figure that out a little bit.
As we moved into the third quarter, and as that starts going through and onward into the fourth, although I think this happened late in the or midway through the third, it's 42-40. Yeah. It's a chance for some free throws.
Yeah, but actually when Patty scored her 1,000th point, that brought us within 2.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So what role did some of the free throws play in this game?
We gave them a lot of free throws, but I'll take at least 7 or 8 of those off the table because we fouled them at the end to stop the clock.
Sure.
One of the things we talked about this game was not allowing slot penetration, and then if we did, not to foul. And I didn't think we were consistent in doing that. When we got to the line, we needed to capitalize a little bit more. You look at we missed 2 crucial free throws in the fourth quarter. Someone else missed a free throw. Sydney Bowles or somebody that usually does not misses a free throw, and we've got to take advantage of every opportunity we can to score points and put points on the board.
But it ain't over yet. Yeah. And so deep into the fourth quarter, midway through, here we go, 59-57.
4:41 on the clock.
4:41 on the clock.
Yeah. We come down. We don't score. And they come down and they turn it over. They try to give it to us. We go back down. Janiyah gets fouled. We miss both free throws. We come down. They turn it over. It's still a 2-point game. We come down. We bobble a layup, right, on a play we had drawn up and worked on earlier that week. We worked on time and score stuff in practice on Wednesday because we felt like this was going to be a close game. So we worked on a lot of situational things. And the play we drew up for the backdoor cut was something we worked on Wednesday in practice, and we just bobbled it and it went out of bounds. And they come down and score. So now it's a 4-point game. But 2 minutes left. We still have 2 minutes left to play. It's a 4-point game. And we just come down and we don't score, we don't execute, we don't give ourselves a chance. Then we give up an offensive rebound, and then we start fouling. And then at that point, it's foul, score, don't score, score. So we watched all of that in its entirety today.
Yeah, I mean, it's getting that drought of can't get a shot to fall, then you have to foul, and just that.
And then the turnover.
Turnovers. That's how many when you start looking at turnovers versus steals by the other team. That's kind of an interesting combination. They seem to be stealing the ball as opposed to just, I threw it out of bounds or something or whatnot.
Yeah, we're going to see something similar Thursday. Mississippi State, and then I'll say Auburn. They're too aggressive, probably 2 of the most aggressive teams in our league. And Auburn is 10 times more aggressive than Mississippi State. We are going to be in for a fight on Thursday. They are aggressive in everything they do, and they're athletic. They cover ground quickly. So they're going to make it really hard for us to pass and catch at every position on the floor. But one of our keys to the game was to not give them points off of steals or turnovers. And the first time we played Mississippi State, they scored 17 points off of our turnovers. And this game, they scored 22 off of our turnovers. And so that, again, we always talk about making teams go to plan B. So the conversation today was, did we make them go to plan B? Did we execute our keys to the game, and did they have to go in their back pocket and do something different?
One of the things that we end up looking at is the points that the bench produced. And you decide who's going to start and who's not, and that's always a great question to talk about. But the guys that came off the bench, the ladies, 34 points per contest over the last 5 games. They're coming in and playing.
You talk about bright spots. Patty scores 1,000 points, right? That's huge. Anytime you can score 1,000 points in your career, that should be celebrated. Really happy to see her do that. Sahara Jones has played really well the last 2 games, has had a great floor game. It was nice to see Sydney Bowles score the ball. It's been a while since she's put up those kind of numbers. Tanea Hilton's been pretty consistent for us, too. So it's, again, cleaning up those little things. You take the first 5 minutes of the first quarter and the last 5 minutes of the game, and if we just clean that up, it looks totally different.
What's the approach, and when you decide what the starting lineup is versus someone who does better coming off the bench? How do you decide that?
It is different. I'm someone who likes a consistent pattern for the most part, and unless somebody's done something to completely just lose their spot, that's kind of what we got, pretty predictable in how I like it to look. I also want to make sure there's somebody on the bench that can give us a spark and some firepower. That's important. You want to have somebody off the bench that can, when you sub, you don't want to just go flat and flatline. And so, once our injured players came back, that first game, well, we didn't know Tanea. We knew Tanea might get minutes against Georgia. Of course, we've all heard the story. We had no idea Janiyah was going to play against Georgia. She definitely wasn't going to start that game. And then just kind of after that win, I kind of liked the flow of that. And she is someone who probably for this year, needs to see it for a little bit before she gets out there and gets herself going.
Yeah, you've seen there's great players, and every team's got one over the course of time who makes a great 6th man or 7th man.
Yeah, I'm hoping that's something that she'll be in the running for this year, actually, if she's played enough games to try to make a push for that 6th man of the year.
You're talking Janiyah?
Yeah.
So be close. I don't know how many games you end up having to play. But I remember one of the players here at A&M back in the day, Danielle Gant.
Destiny Pitts,
even just recently.
Yeah.
I mean, just a different mindset when you come off the bench. And I always wonder, it's like, well, is it I need to go in and I'm better watching the tempo, or there's something about my game that's going to fit after I see what's going on.
And some of it, too, is who are you on the floor with? And that's what we tell our players sometimes, too. It's not about you individually, but some people are just like oil and water, like in terms of like when you look at their plus and minus, like these 2 people or these 3 people or this combination is just not good. And so all of that goes into who's on the floor at the same time and when.
All right, coming up on the show, we are going to be visiting with sophomore Eriny Kindred, also freshman Maya Money Petticord. We've got all that coming up here. It's the Joni Taylor Radio Show. We're live from Rudy's Barbecue from Learfield. Basketball and barbecue lovers know the perfect brisket needs the right wood. Rudy smokes all their meats using their delicious signature rubs in 100% oak-fired pits. Get your real Texas barbecue fix today at Rudy's or on the web at rudys.com. We are at Rudy's here on Harvey Road in College Station. It's the Joni Taylor Radio Show with Joni Taylor. I'm Steve Miller. And the Aggies getting set to take on Auburn. That'll be this Thursday, 7 o'clock. And then on Monday, the Aggies return home to host Missouri at 6 p.m. You can get your tickets at 12thman.com. And we'll hope to see you out there on Monday night at 6 o'clock at Reed Arena. If you can't join us, then listen here on the radio, Zone 1150 here on the A&M Sports Network locally. We are joined by sophomore Eriny Kindred. Just came from practice.
I did.
How's the traffic?
Horrible.
Horrible? Here, let's pull that just a hair toward to make everybody happy. Horrible?
Yeah.
Did you break any laws on the way over here?
No.
No, good. So what time was practice over?
Ooh. Well, I left at 6:40.
Really?
Yes.
5:40.
It's not
5:40.
5:40.
Yes. I don't know if they still going
How
right
long
now.
was practice today?
How long? Well, we had film at 2:45, and we were in there until about 4:10.
Tell me what goes on in film.
Well, we talk about the game, talk about what we could have done better. She gets into us a little bit about, our mistakes during our playing time. There's a lot of reflection going on in there.
And how do you take that?
I think I would take it as a positive criticism. I feel like I'm pretty good at taking criticism, so I try to apply that to my game and see what other things my teammates could.
Yeah, earlier this season, you became a starter.
I did.
After not getting a start last year, but here in sophomore, middle of the season, team needs you to be a starter. How did you respond?
I would say Joni kind of surprised me in shoot-around the day of I was starting, so I was a little nervous. But I think I adapted well and everything. It just it takes a while for my nerves to calm down.
Joni, how'd that conversation go?
Well, I didn't say to her like you were starting, but the 2 days before that in practice, she was with the starter, so I assumed, that was my mistake, I assumed that she knew. And so when we get to shoot around, we get ready to go, and I said, get out there. You're starting today. And you can just kind of see her face like, I said, okay. But she was good. She had a little bit of nerves at the beginning, which is good. I mean, you want players somewhere, if they're not nervous a little bit, that means you care. And so you use that adrenaline, and you learn how to use that in the right way, right, to just raise your game. But she is someone who is very good about taking positive criticism and understanding, like, we are critiquing her to make her better. She understands she doesn't have a lot of experience. And when I first got here, one of the things, she came to my office, she said, can I meet with you? And I said, sure. And she came in and she goes, listen, I'm just relied on athleticism. I haven't been taught a lot. And sometimes if I don't get it, it's because I'm processing it. But I just want you to know that's what's happening. It's not that I don't care. It's not that I'm blanked out. I'm just processing it. And that, number one, I appreciate her telling me that, and knowing that, having some self-awareness to know that. And it helped me immediately know how to coach her.
What's the difference for you in being a starter and not? You started 12 games in a row. I'm
not sure. I guess I don't know if I do better coming off the bench or starting, but I don't really know.
Do you have a mindset? Do you prepare any differently, knowing that you might start versus knowing I'm going to be coming off the bench for a game?
I would say I try to be more focused because I know I'm the opening, I'm the start of the game. It's kind of set the tone for those that are coming off the bench. But basically, yeah.
Tell me about if somebody had to describe your game. How would you describe your game? I need to know what do I need to know about your game?
Like I said, I think I rely on my athleticism to either rebound or jump higher than others. I guess I want to say that I started doing the things that others wouldn't do. So when I would realize that my teammates, we weren't getting a lot of rebounds, I would try my best to go at least mess up the other team's rebounding streak, I guess, just to see. But yeah.
People may not know this about you. You have a track and field background involving some jumping.
Yeah, I do.
Tell me about that.
Well, I did track and field in high school, and I did long jump and triple jump. And my freshman year, I broke the long jump record at my high school. And then
do you remember how far?
It was 17 feet, 11 inches. And then I did triple jump, and I broke that record my junior year, I think, in which it was 38 feet, 9 inches, I think, total. So, yeah. What's
the difference in, obviously, the triple jump and long jump? That's two pretty different deals, but how do you prepare differently for those two events?
Well, triple jump, it's more, you want to do it less because of how many times you jump onto your, it's 3 consecutive jumps. So you do, on your knees, it can be really hard. So on my triple jump days, I would do maybe 2 practice runs. Then I'll just get my steps in correctly. But long jump, it was you have to that's the day you work hard for long jump.
But basketball is your passion, or do you still like to squeeze in a little track?
If I could, I would squeeze some track. realized that I was good at certain things, so I stuck to it. And I got looked at for track, but I never got a scholarship for track. Sure. And these are my top 2 sports that I would have liked to go to college for. So basketball, that's what I stuck with.
Tell us about your family.
I have both my parents in the household, and I have a little brother, and he's 10. And that's it. And I'm 20.
10 years difference.
Yeah.
So how does he handle that?
Well, growing up, he didn't really like going to my games. He would always be like, "Oh, why we're going to sister's game again," and all this. So, but as he's gotten older, he's appreciating, like, he's realizing that where I'm playing at and everything, and I love his support. But sometimes he's checking. I'm looking at him, and he's on his phone while we're playing.
Is he an athlete?
He's in football right now.
Oh, he's in football. What position? A 10-year-old is going to change, right?
I couldn't tell you. I don't know football positions, but he's big. He's in the center.
What's your major here?
I'm a leadership major, and I minor in comms and sports management.
Tell me about what leadership is.
It's just how you deal with adversity in either a workplace, and how you respond to like others criticizing you, and how it's just basically reflecting on yourself and what things that you value and everything, and it's just applying that to your everyday life and trying to push through those type of things.
You started thinking about what you want to do after you get your degree?
I honestly do not know yet. I'm still in the works.
No aspiration?
No, not right now.
Nothing? Oh. What's your favorite food?
Favorite food? I love pasta.
What kind of pasta? Just plain?
Well, Alfredo. And,
Alfredo?
What is it? Linguine? I think
that's
what it's
called. A noodle? That's a kind of noodle?
Yeah, that.
So you like the linguine with the Alfredo?
With shrimp, with chicken.
Oh, see, I like the shrimp.
Yeah.
Is there somebody that makes that really well for you? Or do you go somewhere to get it?
Olive Garden. Yeah. My mom, she doesn't really cook pasta. Well, she's cooked spaghetti, but not the kind of pasta I like, for real.
Not the quality that you're getting at the Olive Garden Alfredo? That is great. All right. Hey, it's been fun watching you play this year. We're looking forward to, we got a few more games to go here, and looking forward to see what you got going on.
Thank you.
All right. Everybody, Eriny Kindred, our guest here on the Joni Taylor Radio Show. We're live from Rudy's Barbecue from Learfield. Not everyone is a morning person yet. But with Costa Vita's new breakfast tacos, everyone will be. Try our bacon, egg, and cheese, or specialties like the machaca beef and egg, or sweet pork, egg, and cheese. Stop by our drive-thru any day from 7 to 10:30 a.m. Order online through the Costa Vita app or the website. Become a morning person at Costa Vita. We're back at Rudy's Barbecue here on Harvey Road, talking women's basketball here until 7 o'clock. The Aggies will be on the road at Auburn on Thursday, 7 o'clock game time. And then on Monday, back home to host Missouri. That's Monday. That's right, Monday. A&M hosts Missouri, 6 o'clock at Reed Arena. And again, you can listen to all the games on the A&M Sports Network here on Zone 1150 locally. With Coach Joni Taylor, I'm Steve Miller. Great to have you guys out with us here at Rudy's. If you're just driving along, some of the construction's kind of a little lightened up out there, so you can actually find Rudy's now. Still got to drive eastbound to get here. We are joined by the freshman Maya Money Petticord, everybody.
Hi, guys.
Hi. All right. Tell me about the nickname.
Well, my trainer back at home, when I was about 8 years old, I went to the gym, and for my shot and the way I played, he just said it was money, so that's why I just stuck with it ever since.
So it just stuck? Here, let me pull the mic from just here. There you go. So it just stuck, huh?
Yeah, it just stuck with it ever since, and then it carried over to AAU, and then after that, everybody just started calling me.
Who calls you Maya?
My mom, when I get in trouble, yeah.
You're telling me your mom calls you money as well?
Yeah, she
Really?
does. And then teachers back in high school, they heard my teammates call money, and they start calling me money. So it just.
How many years now with this nickname?
Since I was 8.
How old are you?
I'm 18.
That's
right
10
now.
years.
That's 10 years. Yep.
What do you, when you sign your signature, what do you sign?
Well, my autograph, I signed Maya Petticord, but like schoolwork, I put money in like my canvas or something. I put money.
That seems backwards to me.
I know it's like a habit because I don't really go by my first name like that, so I just kind of mix it up sometimes, depending how I feel.
So you tell me one of the girls over here comes up with a ball. You're going to sign it Maya Petticord, and there's not a dollar sign. There's not anything. No. We got to work on that.
Yeah, we do. I might just
the brand. We need the brand, right?
Yeah, but when I get my brand, I might have to like put a little like money added to it. Mm-hmm. It depends. It really depends.
The value goes up if you get a money autograph.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Crazy.
Y'all see what I'm dealing with every day? And I call her Money too, but there's days that I call her Maya.
And I don't like it.
Yeah.
Does that remind you of your mother?
Yeah. It definitely gives me PTSD. Definitely.
All right, well, Joni's not the one who recruited you to Texas A&M. Mm-hmm. Coach Blair and his staff did. So tell me about how that transition goes when the folks that recruited you aren't going to be the coach. And you knew that at some point. And so why did you stick around? What is it that you stuck around for?
Well, I definitely knew some of Coach Joni's mm-hmm. background, so I was like, okay, I'm feeling it. And then when I heard Coach Blair, was leaving, retiring, I had a talk with them, and then I know that she was with Georgia. So Coach Rob, he had conversations with my parents before, so I kind of knew him before that, so it kind of all worked out in favor. So, yeah. What
did you see in Money?
So she was someone who after she signed with Texas A&M, and a little bit before we saw her, we had signed a point guard, and she'd already committed. And so when we came here and got ourselves like situated, and we said, okay, let's look at the roster. She is the only one that we kept. Right. Mm-hmm. There's two other signees that are not here. So that says enough about what we thought about her. But Money is someone who just has the ability to score the basketball. She's used to having the ball in her hands, and we felt like she was someone who was going to work. What we try to look at is, are they self-motivated? And we knew that she's constantly in the gym. You heard her talk about her trainer. She's someone who wants to play and who wants to do really well. And so we knew that she was going to have, like as all freshmen do, a learning curve. But you talk about just people who are going to have a great career here, and she's one of them.
When you've been inserted in the game, sometimes it's been to get out there and try to break the press. Many times. How have you responded?
Well, I try my first thought is don't turn the ball over. So when I see like an opening during the press, I try to attack it, but then when I see the right pass to make, I try to make it. And yeah, just try not to make the best decisions to break the press.
Do you want the ball in your hand?
I mean, when time will come, I feel like if I'm meant to have the ball, I'll do something with it, but I'm a team player, so I feel like I trust my teammates enough to trust them with the ball also. And then when I get the ball, I'll try to have an impact.
And what is that impact?
Like Joni said, try to score the ball or just make the right decisions.
You seem to be someone who not afraid to drive the basket or just shoot up a three.
No, not at all.
Do you favor one?
It really depends on how the defense play me. Mm-hmm. If they're sagging off, I'll shoot it, and if they're pressing me and the lane is wide open, I'll go.
Tell me about the art of free throw shooting.
That's like a rest in place, so just taking your time mm-hmm. and stick with the rhythm I've been sticking with. And
what's a rhythm? What kind of rhythm do you have? Does that start with the official giving you the ball? Does that start walking up to the line? What is your mindset going up to the free throw line?
Just take a deep breath mm-hmm. and then do my routine, which is like 3 bounces and spin a ball, shoot it.
It
goes in.
Yeah.
She's perfect, isn't she? Has she hit and missed the free throw this year? Is that right?
Yeah.
I'm not putting pressure on you. I'm just
making sure I didn't say that.
We all knew that.
Making sure that you said that. I wasn't going down that road, but it's done is done. So you're 13 of 13 this season.
Pressure's a privilege.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate it.
there could be a time where you get called on to go shoot that technical foul or shoot that that important shot.
Yeah, it was one time in the game. I forgot what game was it. She called my number because it was like a close game, and they knew they was going to, like, foul it, but I didn't end up getting the ball. I think it went to Janiyah, but I could tell she trusted me to shoot the free throw.
Right. So I'm going to pass you the ball, and I'm going to hold it. Come foul me, you know?
Yeah. I was definitely going to make it. Yeah.
I have to ask everybody, what's your favorite food?
I'm more of a seafood fan. Like, I like seafood boils, like with corn, potatoes, sausage, shrimp.
Just dump it out on the table in front of you?
More like a bucket.
Oh, you want a bucket?
I want a bucket. I don't like the spread.
Why?
It's messy.
You think people are going to get to it and you can protect it in the bucket?
Yeah, I want my own.
You want your own?
I want my
Does it
own.
need to be spicy?
I like it, medium. Because if it's spicy, I can't handle it. Even though I do like spicy foods, it's just it's different with the other stuff added to it.
Do you use a lot of napkins in that, or are you just going to get?
I get it's
messy?
like a bib.
Oh, you bib?
It's like no, they give us like a bib to wear at the fancy restaurants. I use that, but if I don't have the bib
for the crab for the seafood boil.
Yeah.
You've stolen a bib from the fancy restaurant?
No, they gave it to me.
Oh, they gave it to you.
Gave it to
and how nice is this bib? Is it disposable, or you've kept this?
No, I didn't keep it. It's just like a plastic paper.
Yeah.
That's all.
You need to get some of the same money on it.
Nah.
No. What's your major?
Well, I was business, and then I switched over to communications and started minoring in business and marketing. So yeah, I really want to go to the marketing route, build my own brand.
And what do you think your brand is? You thought about that?
I really haven't looked at it that much, but I kind of figured, was debating on things in high school because my dad was kind of helping me create things. I had like a shirt and like a hoodie, but it really didn't get like promoted that much. But I'm still trying to figure it out.
Well, now now there's more avenues and platforms for that as a student athlete nowadays than there were a few years ago. Have you looked into some of those things yet, or is that hard to do during the season? How do you?
Yeah, I really just been like trying to get the schoolwork done.
Yeah.
And then focus on basketball. That's kind of been my main two priorities, just basketball and school.
Now I heard that that many or several players have their jerseys available for sale.
Yeah.
Is that one? Are you involved in that?
Yes, sir.
Do you know how people can do that?
Yeah, I actually kind of sent it. Well, I sent it to my dad, and he just sent it out to the whole family. So I'm sure I got a couple bucks from that, and a few people on social media purchased it. So I found it was really cool.
But anybody can purchase, right?
Yeah, I wish I could see who purchased it, but
Well,
I know a lot of.
You gonna write them a letter, or?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
Thank you card for everyone who buys your jersey.
For sure.
Oh, that's pretty nice.
Yeah.
Well, I encourage people to follow you on social media and find out where they can get your jersey. Where can they find you on social media?
On Instagram, Money. Well, the
Better be real specific. There's probably a lot of that.
The E's a 3. The E's a 3, and then it's .2_.
Okay, you better say it one more time.
Money, the E's a 3, .2_.
.2_.
Yeah.
And that's the okay. That's rough. And that's on Instagram.
Yes.
All right, we're gonna look that up. You may have to walk around and help some of these folks find it. You may have to help me find it. That's we need to work on that address too. That may be our first step on this marketing plan. All right, everybody. Hey, Money Petticord is here. We got a Maya. We call him Money. Money, everybody.
Thank you.
We're live from Rudy's Barbecue. This is Joni Taylor Radio Show from Learfield. Texas Farm Bureau Insurance wants to give you a VIP Aggie basketball fan experience this year. Go to 12thman.com/maroon contest and register. One winner and a guest will receive game tickets, hotel accommodations, autographed memorabilia, and more. Register today at 12thman.com/maroon contest. Texas Farm Bureau Insurance is a proud partner of Texas A&M Athletics. We're back at Rudy's Barbecue here on Harvey Road in College Station. It's the Joni Taylor Radio Show. That's Joni Taylor. I'm Steve Miller. And the Aggies are going to be on the road against Auburn coming up on Thursday. And it's a 7 o'clock start. And then on Monday night, it's the Aggies and Missouri. That's right, Monday night basketball, Reed Arena is 6 o'clock. And among the promotions we've got is something called Divine 9. So, Joni, tell me what that is all about.
So Monday's game against Missouri is our Black History game. We're going to have a ton of, just things talking about Black history, showing some videos highlighting the first minority player to play at Texas A&M, and just, in honor of Black History Month, we're going to do some things. We're also wearing our Black History jerseys that Adidas made for us, and there's going to be kind of a creamy color with flowers, and the point of that with Adidas was being to honor them and give them their flowers while they're here. So that's going to be going on. And the Divine 9 are the 9 historically black sororities and fraternities nationally. There's only 9 of them. And so that is something else that we're doing for that game. And so we're asking all black sororities and fraternities to come out and wear their paraphernalia, which means like their letters, and come to that game. And so just a combination of things we want to do, since it's Black History Month. Were
you or any members of your staff a member of one of these historically black sororities or fraternities?
We have several. I'm a member. Myself and Angela are members of Delta Sigma Theta sorority. Catherine Graham is a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority, and Robert Mosley is a member of Kappa Alpha Psi.
Outstanding. So that's a great way to relate and get some different folks involved here in the community to come out to the game. So looking forward to that Monday, 6 o'clock.
Monday, 6 p.m.
We alluded to when Money was up here about some NIL opportunities. What are the opportunities that exist out there for the athletes? It's rapidly changing, I know.
Daily. Daily. It changes. Right now, the biggest thing with NIL is we would like for it to be federal legislation. Every state has different rules in terms of how you can operate, and it creates an unfair advantage depending on the state that you live in, because it, as coaches, we're limited in what we can say in regarding NIL. But what it has allowed our student athletes to do is market themselves and brand themselves in a different way. One of the things that they have to just do is make sure that when they are branding themselves, they are their own identity, and it cannot be linked to Texas A&M. You are, sponsoring them because they are Eriny, Kindred, and Maya Petticord, not because they're Eriny Kindred who plays at Texas A&M. And so usage of our logo, it's not allowed right now. One of the opportunities that our student athletes are fortunate to have is with Fanatics. Fanatics came along and offered a team-wide deal to our program, and that doesn't happen a ton of places. So really excited to be able to say that we are among the few schools that team-wide has a deal. Every player has an NIL deal. And this was really important because with Tanea Hilton being from Canada, if you are from overseas, you're not allowed to have NIL deals. And
really?
So, no, it's against the rules, which is unfortunate when you look at all of the players in every sport who come from overseas. They're not allowed to benefit off of NIL.
That's so strange.
It is. It really is. And so, again, just some of the rules just don't make sense. But this opportunity with Fanatics was something that she could be involved in. And so I thought it was really, really cool that our team decided to all go in and be a part of that, just so it was something she could benefit from as well.
Yeah, and fans can go to Fanatics when you're looking for, your Aggie merchandise, your NFL merchandise. Fanatics is official online merchandiser for Texas A&M, and go on there and see what different athletes have been able to engage with. And from jerseys to T-shirts and occasionally there's stores that pop up on campus and other places. So great way to help support the athletes that you weren't able to do previously.
No, and they get a small percentage of the money off the jersey. I think it's maybe $2. It's not a lot of money, but if they market it, it can be. But also it's just an opportunity for them to get started growing their brand and thinking about the possibilities that are out there.
All right, we need to grab a timeout. When we come back, we'll talk about the Auburn game. Got a few other items as well. We're live from Rudy's Barbecue. It's the Joni Taylor Radio Show from Learfield. This copyrighted broadcast is an exclusive presentation of Learfield under the broadcasting rights granted by Texas A&M University. Reuse of this presentation is prohibited without the express written consent of Texas A&M University and Learfield. Announcers are provided by Learfield and Texas A&M University. Reminder, we're here. Our final show is next week at 6 o'clock. So for those of you who come in at 5 minutes left in the show, who may or may not be assistant coaches, it starts at 6 o'clock.
I know. 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock. But next is the Rob Mosley and Chelsea Newton show, so stay tuned for that.
We should just have her come up here and
just
talk about
a local
Auburn.
thing. Yeah, get yourself a beverage and sit back and ask questions. They're taking questions, I hear, tonight, so that'll be great. So appreciate you guys and all you do. Auburn.
I was saying we should just Chelsea scout. We should just bring her up here and put her in the hot seat.
Yeah. We ain't got that kind of time.
Oh yeah, you're right. Auburn, won 3 games, playing really, really well. Yep. They've had some players hurt. They're back. Very athletic, very explosive at all 5 positions. Rely on their defense to score points for them. Have changing defenses. You're going to see man. You're going to see a 2-3 zone. You're going to see a 3-2 zone, and you're going to see them press us the entire game. So us again, I feel like it's a tape recording, right? We've got to take care of the basketball. We've got to handle the press. And we've got to box them out and limit them to 1 shot. Where they are really good is that they know that they are limited offensively, and so they really funnel things through 2 players, and that's number 5 and number 23. And everybody else just goes and gets theirs off of the offensive glass or off of running in transition. And so they're good at what they do. It's very simple, but it's very effective.
Coached by Johnny Harris, former A&M assistant coach for a long time. What's your relationship with Johnny?
Great. Johnny is someone who is just, when you think about stewards of the game and assistant coaches, she was an assistant for such a long time. I think back to when she was a head coach at Arkansas, and then, she just was an assistant here, and then for Vic at Mississippi State, and just always was right there. And, to see her have her chance to have a head coaching job in year 2, which she's already done, at Auburn, I'm excited for her. But we've got a really good relationship. We call each other. We support each other. And it's just been really, really neat to get to know her better, as a head coach.
How do you think the SEC is stacking up this year? Just 2 teams ranked in the top 25. That hasn't been the case recently in the last few years. Seems to be more teams ranked. Does that matter?
I think our league is still the strongest from top to bottom. I do think if I was ranking years, I would say this is a down year for our league in terms of what you just said, RPI rankings. There's a lot of programs that are rebuilding or that are, have new coaches if you look at a lot of the teams. And so what's challenging about our league is that the top is the top. And then as you're trying to build it, the top is still getting what they get. So even when you're trying to climb, like the top is getting better as well. And so it's just like this uphill battle, and so it's really hard to climb in this league, but it's where you get 1 or 2 special players and you are able to continue that trend and develop them, and you look up and you're where you need to be. But I still would put our league against anyone else's from top to bottom, 1 through 14. I've always said there's other leagues that are top heavy, but I think 1 through 14, we have the strongest conference.
You're talking about trying to make the climb, even nationally. There's always seems to be this break after somewhere between 8 and 10. You could always kind of draw a line, and it's hard to get across that marker. Do you think that's still the case?
I think it is, but I think over time there is more parity now, than it used to be. I think that there's some teams. Look at Indiana.
Oh yeah,
right? Look at what Indiana's done.
New to the club here.
New to the club. Terry's done a wonderful job there, and I think so. There are some programs who have figured it out.
Yeah, and it's kind of you have to build, where you're going to stack up nationally, and that's in schedule development. And you guys seem to be always working on your schedule. Constantly,
we'd like to be a year ahead. We've almost closed out next year, with the exception of maybe 1 or 2 games, and we're working on 24. And so, what helps us there is our conference is really good about giving us our schedule for 4, 5, 6, 7 years out. We don't know the dates, but we know who we're playing and if that's home or away, and we know who we're going to play twice. And so then it helps me decide if I end up drawing South Carolina twice, then it helps me say no to UConn in the non-conference. If I end up drawing, as we get better, if I end up drawing a lower team in our league twice, then I might say yes to that other team in the non-conference. So it allows us to build our schedule. We always want our non-conference to prepare us for 2 things. We want 3 things. In our non-conference, we want to play a team that we're not going to see in our league. A style of play, right? Think Villanova, think Princeton. We want to play a style that we know we're not going to see in our league, so that if we see that in the NCAA tournament, we have at least practiced it and we're prepared for that style. We also want to play in some type of tournament, number 1, that gives our young ladies a chance to go to a part of the world that they haven't been in much or maybe need to. And then also it allows us to play consecutive games so we can prepare for SEC tournament and NCAAs.
Yeah, it is, and that's got to get you all set and looking forward to see what next year's schedule is. They're all thinking about next year's schedule, too. I wonder where it's going to be. All right, our thanks to Joni Taylor, also to Eriny Kindred and Maya Petticord. Money. And our engineers, Kevin Minchow, and to Silas Call back in Jefferson City. Also thanks to Chase here as well. For Coach Joni Taylor, I'm Steve Miller. Have a great night. This has been the Joni Taylor Radio Show from Learfield.